What's going on, guys? Today I'm coming to you with part 5 of my Hoth terrain. Today I'm going to be using this model Interceptor. I have not glued the wings on, and they kind of snap in, but I don't want them going all the way together because I'm going to use this to try to make some light cover the ruins of basically a crashed Interceptor. Now this model is not the right scale for this game compared to an Imperial Assault miniature. You can see that he's too big to go in there. But once it's broken up and turned into wreckage, I'm thinking, you know what? Darth Vader right next to that, that could be like trees, right? If I break it up and it's ruins and stuff, it could serve as light cover. That's kind of what I want to do. Cover that you can potentially shoot through a little bit, not as good as a wall, but you can see through it, kind of serving the same purpose that trees might serve on an Endor map, but considering this is not an Endor map, I don't really can't put trees out there. So this is the next best thing that I could think of. So I'm going to try to use some of this wreckage. We're going to basically cut I'm going to cut like 2 pieces and have them next to each other. So kind of like this part and this wing crashed here, and then another piece with another wing crashed right over there, and then I can set them up kind of near each other. That's kind of the goal. We'll see if that's what ends up happening or not. And yeah, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to break this off into some pieces and try to do. All right, so I'm going to start with just a small piece for the wing, and what I'm going to do is I'm taking my trusty foam cutter here, and I want to make this kind of low, so I'm going to cut it kind of lower to the ground, like so, and just kind of cut it at an angle, so it goes kind of all the way around. I'm going to do this on both sides, kind of like that, and I'm going to do this all the way through so that it looks kind of like a snowdrift. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room in the middle, make it a little more bulkier, and kind of give room that I can be able to glue this down after I do some stuff to it. All right, so here is the simple snowdrift type piece, and I'm going to just cut an indentation here kind of in the center, kind of doing like a diagonal cut. And basically what I'm going to do is, once I get my wing ready, I'm going to use it to put it in this piece and use a lot of hot glue to kind of hold it into position. And I'm not going to paint it yet. I'm going to wait until the whole thing is done before I paint, because I don't mind if I get white paint on the wing, because it's going to have snow on it. And then at the very, very end, once this whole set is complete, I'm going to do a snowdrift effect and put some snow on there. And so that's about kind of what I'm looking for. Right there, I need it to be a little bit bigger, but that's the general idea. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more until I get it the right. All right, so I think I've got it about the right size. I went a little bit too deep there because I went all the way through. So lesson learned, be careful not to try and go too far through. But now this will sit in there pretty good. And we don't want it to be too lopsided either, otherwise it'll pull the whole thing over, and then I'd have to put weights in the bottom. But that's kind of how it looks. All right, so now I've got basically a heat gun here. And one of the things I'm going to do here is try to heat up this plastic so that it bends inward and looks battle damaged. And I've got it on the high setting, and it's going to take me a minute. But basically I'm just going to get this thing nice and hot to both sides. There we go. And it's starting to melt. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? So I can get this one go down. Oh yeah, look at that. There's some battle damage on there. All right, so here it is. I did a little bit more on the inside and the top here, and it's cooled down so I can touch it, but still a little warm. But boy, that's really cool. It got a little shiny too. Yeah, so it actually fits in there pretty good, but I am going to glue it in because I want it to, I don't want it falling out mid-game and crushing somebody's troopers. So there it is. Yeah, and just for reference, this is the 172 scale TIE Interceptor from Bandai. Was the 172 Interceptor. And I'm just basically filling this chasm up with a whole bunch of hot glue. And I'm going to stick this sucker in here and let it get nice and comfortable. And put a little more on top. All right, so now I'm just basically melting the cockpit. I want to make it look battle damaged, maybe let it look destroyed, and having fun with that. It's kind of hot though, so gotta be really careful. Maybe set it down. That's probably what I'll do. Set it down somewhere. All right, so I was able to, once I got it hot, I was able to take a paintbrush and kind of work it out. And so, like, basically the idea is that it was hit right here, an explosion directly in the cockpit, and then, you know, kind of blew this part of the wing out and all that, and then crashed, and then that other wing came off. And so I can have them, you know, kind of like this one here, and then that one behind it. Or wherever, you know, I mean, it doesn't, you could do it wherever you want, but that would be a little more thematic. So that's kind of the idea. And so now I'm gonna just gonna cut the rest of this out, and I might trim it out to make it a little bit more natural looking, probably not quite so blocky. And basically the idea is I want it to be able to go kind of like this, and it's gonna help me out if I see. That's basically the general area that I need, and then I'll kind of cut around that. So I'm just finishing cutting this thing out just to get the general shape that I'm going to need, and boom, there we go. So now, to make sure it still looks good, there we go. That's kind of going to be my general foresty. The lack of trees, it's TIE Interceptor remains. And then I'm going to cut some more out of the top and do the same thing we did with before and get ready to glue this one in here. All right, so this is basically what I've cut out, and it fits in there pretty good. And we're going to just demolish this thing with glue. I'm going to need a whole nother glue stick. Yep, oh, I got one around here somewhere. But yeah, that's what we're doing. There it is. There's that other glue stick. Come on, baby. Get in there. Woo, it's popping. It's popping. I hear it. You hear it popping. All right, so next step is just to, normally I do a white coat over first and then a blue wash. But this time I'm going to do the blue wash first because I think I've just been making too much work for myself. And I think if I put the blue wash on first and then just do a better white coat afterwards, it'll work out. So yeah, I'm going to go around and do all the blue to sink in. And especially the lines I put behind it meant to be like where it kind of skidded into place. You know, we want this to look nice and frozen. All right, so this is dried. We're all the way blue all the way around. And now it's just time for our coat of white over the top to make it look nice and snowy. And I really don't mind if I get any on this thing because it's supposed to have snow on it anyway. See? Kind of like that. All right, so we've got our base done, and I've also done some white kind of accents on the wings and the crash tie itself. There you go, and you can kind of see how that came out. I think it looks pretty decent. All right, so next step of after doing all of this, I got a little light dusting all over all of that, is I'm using these winter effects I got from Hobby Lobby. And it's just making snow, and it comes with all kinds of different things you can do with it. And I'm just mixing my snow right here, and it's like a liquid and a powder, and it's, you know, it's got to like dry for 24 hours or whatever. It comes with a brush, so you can kind of brush it on there. I'm gonna try that kind of around here. I don't want it on that much, but yeah. Try to get it all over everything in here. And try and get it in there, and the cracks and crevices and any place that just doesn't look right, especially down in here. All right, so there is my heavily snowed on TIE Interceptor. Yeah, the snow effect is a little messy, but you know, just wash up afterwards. And this is gonna, basically I made it kind of wet, and then I sprinkled some of the dry mixture on top, and then I'll probably have to check on it later and make sure it's dried good, because it still can kind of come off on your finger there when you touch it. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you looking forward to to Legion, to make it any of your own scenery, or anything like that? What do you think is going to be like the most popular scenery type? Do you think it's going to be like the Endor, the desert maps? What do you think, guys? So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Click the little bell for alerts so you can find out when I upload more videos. I'm probably going to do this snow effect on all the rest of my pieces, and hopefully I'll have a workable playset here pretty soon, and I can show you guys like the whole completed thing. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.